Hey guys, have you ever wondered what could happen if you stopped making excuses and started making trades instead? How can you blow up the obstacles of both mindset and mechanics that are standing in your way from being a successful trader? So I come up with 5 different things that I consider barriers, and each one of them just beat the heck out of me when I first started trading. And the thing that's really interesting is I find that I have to continue taking inventory because if I don't, I'll slip back into losing habits. And I want to develop the habits of a winner. And many traders hesitate to enter trades due to their fear of losing money. And so part of the solution in that is the way I got over that was I had to implement strict risk management. And that sounds all classy and cool and all that kind of stuff. But what it really meant was I had to stop not using stop losses. That was the major one thing that I really struggled with. And then, of course, being a technical background and all that kind of stuff, I get so caught up with all the indicators and all the flashy signs and all the shiny objects that I get hung up with over analysis paralysis or paralysis by analysis. And so, one of the things that I make a habit right now as a solution to that is I go back and I strip off my charts down to nothing. So it's just price action and take a look at that. And sometimes I'll take even my candlesticks off the chart. And if you listen out there, you want to make a note on this one. Replace your candlesticks or your bar charts, replace it with a line graph and practice trading off of that for a while because the line graph that is based off of the close for the day can be really enlightening to you for how you would have traded, and you also can plan your exits off of that. I'll put together a video in the near future that talks about that. What if the real barriers are just the stories we tell ourselves about why we're not succeeding in trading? So, Neil, how often do you encounter this mindset with the traders you work with?
Not the traders with, but I'll just tell you about myself. Is most thing that goes against me, I think, is the recency bias. All of
Mm,
us have all kind of biases, and I had to work on my recency bias. And what that really means, if the market is going up and up and up, and then get a sell signal, and because of that bias, many a time I used to say, that can't be true. It'll just continue up. And that becomes a problem. That also becomes a problem on individual stocks or the speed of your decisions. And that is what I have to work with. And then I also found out that the belief that you talk about, it goes with our identity. And identity is nothing but a 8 or 10 or 12 strong beliefs that we have that's kind of driving us.
yeah.
And sometimes we don't even know what
Yeah.
those 8 or 10 beliefs are. And then I had to search for it and continuously work at it.
Well, how would one go about discovering what those beliefs are about themselves? And
Write them down. Write down what are your top 10 beliefs,
okay.
and see what you come up with. That's an
So
interesting exercise.
so when a person sits down and writes down what their beliefs are like that, I would presume that absolute honesty is really required if you want to get to the
Yep.
root of
Yep.
whatever the issue is.
Right. That is correct.
Okay.
And the one I shared is I worked on the most, and that is on the recency bias. That maybe is coming from the hidden belief that if you're a positive person, say everything's going to be okay. So you see
Okay.
negative and say, hey, it's going to be okay. But no, it's not okay in trading.
So the recency bias was resulting in you ignoring what was on the charts.
That's right.
One of the things that just basically whacks all of us, I think, is it's the lack of discipline. We have become an undisciplined society. I'm not making any political comments here. Just it seems like we have developed this undiscipline attitude. And the fact of the matter is, trading and repeating success. Success is a routine. It's not learning more about trading. It's basically identifying a simple 2, 3, 4, 5 step process routine that helps you to make winning trades on a regular basis. I know, and Neil, you've dealt with this a lot, is just your emotional response to market fluctuation. You talk about recency bias. Part of the thing is to one, recognize it, journal it, write it down, and then learn how to deal with it. And then lastly, but not least, is inadequate trading education. And when I say inadequate trading education, a person needs to be very careful about what they learn. Most people try to learn too much. And so they're so overloaded with stuff that they can't implement because they can't actually practice what they learn. So I suggest incremental learning. Learn how to use the 8-day moving average. Learn how to use the TSI. Learn how to use candlesticks one at a time, not all at the same time. And it will simplify your approach towards trading. So recognizing those things and admit that that's what you need to do, I think will help a person get past the excuses that come from the lies we believe. What's your thoughts on those things, Neil? I know I covered a lot, but
No, you're spot on, except maybe you're too harsh on yourself. They're not necessarily the lies. I call it's results of your set of beliefs or your identities that's making you think in the way.
okay. Well, then I'll start being nicer to myself. Excellent, excellent topic. Okay, guys, now that you're armed with the strategies to overcome your trading barriers, whether you call them lies or not lies, what we believe about ourselves that works into the actions that we take. I wanted to share with you really quickly, one of the reasons why we get hung up is that we don't have a process. And so if you haven't taken a look at the precision entry point routine or the PEP routine, I encourage you take a look at this. I'll put a link down in the bio. It's a course that I put together that shows 3 simple setups and triggers to be able to get into trades. Don't miss the PEP routine. The link to find out more about it, because it could actually save your trading